Alright, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to do a little bit of this Magic 30. It's a chaos draft. It's really hard for me to give you tips about this draft format because it's going to be different every single time you draft it. There is quite a bit of luck involved, but there is some skill as well. One of the most important things you need to know about this draft is that every single round of packs will only feature cards from the 10 sets that are within that round. Although that's not always relevant, it does help you kind of set your mind for what you could get past throughout that entire pack and what you can maybe open into. We have M19 here with the Master Thoppertist, and it's a pretty good card. You know, I think we could get artifacts, but there's also Slimefoot here, which is pretty good. In fact, I do like Slimefoot quite a lot. As a 3-mana 2/3 is very good. And then the value of making little 1/1s later game if you want for the mana sink. There's also Murder and Overwhelming Remorse, just solid cards. There's a lot of really good black in this pack. So I'm tempted to take Slimefoot and hopefully wheel, Emergency Weld or the Butler. I think it's important to note that even though I'm a huge fan of 3-color drafts in modern day sets, something like this Chaos, you really want to stick to 2. So something like Murder or Overwhelming Remorse is the safer take, but I just think Slimefoot is too good to ignore, and maybe we just force black-green and see where we can go. We have an Edgar's Awakening, which is okay for revival. It's not the best. Since we do have Crimson Vow, there is the possibility of making blood tokens. Greater Tanuki is just really solid on its own. Pallbearer can be okay. Elvish is just really good, right? So it's a 3-mana 1/1 that ramps you and fixes. Infiltrator's not bad as well. I think we could get some sack synergies going. Especially if we're making tokens with Slimefoot, I kind of want some sack synergies going. But I think I want to take the Rejuvenator because I think Infiltrator will wheel. I'm not sure any of those other green cards will, but the Rejuvenator just being ramp and fixing is too good to pass. So, any green deck we play is going to want this. And fixing's really hard to come by. And so, we're going to want that. Another Undead Butler. It's kind of crazy. It's not that good of a card. It's okay. We have a Void here. It's not a bad top-end card. In fact, cycling and giving Death Touch counter is fine. Especially if we have a 1/1 counter synergies. There's a Body Dropper here, which is pretty good. But I'm not sure I want to lean into a 3-color deck yet. I'm not sure we have enough fixing for that. Vanilla 4/3 basically for 4. It's okay. I'm tempted to take the Void Beckoner because it's harder to come by. And it's not a bad card. Maybe if we're lucky, one of these other black cards will wheel, but let's just take the Beckoner. I think, even though I'm a 3-color drafter at heart, when you do something like Chaos, it's really hard to make 3 colors come together. So something like Maestra's Charm is just really hard to incorporate into a deck. So you're better off staying with probably 1 or 2 colors in Chaos Draft. We have a Locket here, some good options. I think Twisted Embrace is just the best card, so I'm going to take that. Yeah. Spell Pierce is also quite good, but like I said, I'm going to try and stick to just 2 colors for this draft, especially in pack 1. So, Twisted Embrace it is. But yeah, I mean, you kind of want to stick to 1 main color, 2 main colors. Like I said, as much of a 3-color, 4-color, 5-color drafter I am, historically, 3 colors is not as good as it's been recently in the past. So something like Regrowth is very good for us. So it's important to remember that only recently have sets really begun to do a lot of really good cross synergy. So when you do something with so many old cards, you don't get quite as good of a reward for going to 3, 4, 5 colors as you do right now currently with the more recent sets. So let's take Regrowth. So I do advise sticking to 2 colors with this format if you're going to play it. That's actually pretty good in our deck, but I don't think it's worth splashing for. especially when we have just a perfectly good 2/2 for 2 with the Sprite, or a hired blade for Flash. Sprite's just a little bit better though, right, than Flash. Yeah. Another thing you want to do when you're drafting this format is focus on your curve and make sure you get enough 2 drops and 3 drops. Curving out's really important here. So as you can see, we have 1 2 drop, and we like to curve out. I don't think Void Beckoner is going to exactly be cast for 8 mana too often. A lot of times it will just be a death touch counter. This card's okay, but it's not worth switching into red for. The problem is you dig until you get a creature card, and then, yeah, Amplifier becomes twice that power, twice that toughness, but that card goes on the bottom of your library. So you don't actually draw the creature. So it kind of filters away your creatures, which is not exactly what you want. Anyways, I think the best card here is Dark Bargain. I don't love it, but it's not bad. It's card draw in black, which is something that's good. Let's go ahead and take the Dark Bargain. Thalad's a fantastic pickup, especially since we have Slimefoot. Just fantastic. 3 mana, 3/2 that leaves behind a 1/1 when it dies. You really can't ask for better. There is a Tameo Safekeeping that we're losing out on, and that's like kind of painful because something like Tameo Safekeeping is actually pretty hard to get. But Deathbloom Thalad just goes with Slimefoot too well to ignore. Emergency Weld or Undead Butler. I think Emergency Weld I'm going to favor over Undead Butler just ever so slightly. Again, it's just very close. But the Weld's less replaceable as it can grab an artifact or a creature. So right now it looks like we're doing just green-black good stuff. Infiltrator did wheel. There's also the Pallbearer. I don't think I want to run the trick. Yeah, Infiltrator could be good if we get enough sack outlets. I mean, we might not. Intervention's not great, but then what's the other option? Just a vanilla 4/3, 4/4 mana. I think I'll just take the trick that I probably won't run. Let's see, what else did we get? Oaken Form is actually okay. You can't get 2 for 1 with it, but it's okay. Head Cleaver's fine as well with Menace. It's not great though, so let's take the Oaken Form. That's a maybe. Okay, we're going to have to go off color here. Do I want a Dolphin or Prisoner? I guess the Prisoner is better to lean into Jund. We definitely have a more Jund deck than Sultai, so let's do that. I don't think I'm going to play either of these. Let's just take the creature and another buff that we're probably not going to play. Okay. Omnath. Really difficult to play this in Chaos format, like I said, and we're already 1 color further from it, so we'd have to play 5. It's a good card, don't get me wrong. It's just not feasible here. We don't have enough fixing. I don't think we'll ever get enough fixing. So what do we have? We have Bond of Flourishing. It's okay. But there's a Cruelty here, which is really good. There's also a Feral and a Vicious Rumors. I like Cruelty. It's good. It's a -5/-5. It gets around Indestructible, which is kind of important. And it exiles the card, so just really good removal. There's not too much exciting that we're going to wheel here, but removal that exiles and does -/- is premium. Casualties of War is a really strong removal card. We would at least get 2 out of the 5 hits against anybody, probably more like 3. Destroys lands, it destroys planeswalkers, enchantments, creatures, artifacts, just all good things. 6 mana is a lot, but something like Binding the Titans is not nearly as good. Another Vicious Rumors is here as well. I don't know if this card's that good. It's okay. It's not like terrible, but I don't want to run it. Truth Faith Censor. It's okay if we have humans. We don't really have humans. But yeah, Casualties of War is just a pretty good removal spell. Sculpting Steel is good, but it assumes there's an artifact on the board. I think the Constrictor is just better, right? There's also just the Colossus is safest. Constrictor, we're going to want like 1/1 counter synergies, which is not guaranteed. Right now we have, I think, only one way to put 1/1 counters on stuff. 2, if you count the Sprite. So it's not that impressive. I think in our deck right now, the Colossus is better, but if I find 1/1 counters, I might pick him up, and hopefully we wheel the Constrictor. That's a very, very good card. Maybe worth splashing over something like March of the Drowned. Or, well, I mean, we have a 2/2 for 2 here. We are a little light on 2-drops. I think Warden of the Chain is obviously the better card than anything else here, but for our deck, I think just sticking to a 2/2 for 2 is just fine at the moment. It's very important to make sure you get enough 2-drops in these drafts, and Emergency Weld isn't exactly a 2-drop. We still don't have good ways to sack. It would be nice to pick up a few of those. It's not a great card. That could be okay for graveyard synergies. This is not good. It's okay. It's not great. Axe is okay. I think I like the 3/3 Death Toucher with some mill synergies for graveyard synergies in our deck best, because right now it looks like we're doing some graveyard shenanigans. A nice vampire that's vanilla. We got another vampire here. It's pretty vanilla. Another Colossus. Direwolf Prowler. Ooh, Bloom Hulk. Okay, so this is an example of 1/1 counter synergies. I think we take Bloom Hulk and hope that Constrictor comes back around, and maybe we can start really prioritizing some 1/1 counters for our build. I don't think it's too late to get 1/1 counters. Here's something that makes a 1/1 counter. The Amass Zombie would have a 1/1 counter on it, technically. It's better than a 1/5 lifelink. We don't have a lot of zombies. The Convoke Trampler is pretty good. The Rhino's great. It does have a 1/1 counter on it, so it's really between the Rhino and Scorpion. But I'm going to take the Scorpion as it makes 2 bodies and one of them has 1/1 counters. Unbridled Growth is pretty good. It's great fixing. And it's a sacrifice permanent. But we have an option to take something that comes in with 1/1 counters on it to build on our 1/1 counter synergy. So I think I'm going to lean into that over the Unbridled Growth. But I hate missing out on Unbridled Growth. It's just such a good card. But the Lurcher is good. So we're now officially doing 1/1 counter synergies. 6 mana, 5/5 Death Touch isn't bad. This is okay. No. Let's just take let's take the 6 mana 5/5 Death Touch over Vicious Rumors, I guess. It's fine. I will take Vicious Rumors here, though. Queen's Commission is actually a really good card. I can't believe it's going this late. This Constrictor did come around. That's a huge bonus. So I think we're doing pretty well here. That's actually very strong. Much stronger than the Spinner. Okay. We're not going to play this card. We could just take the vanilla 5/4 in case we go into Jund for some reason. And just take a blue card. Doesn't really matter. Colossus and the vampire. Let's take second Colossus. Okay. Yep, this card is not that good. Bummer. Converter Beast is decent. Crusher is great, actually. I mean, we have a lot of top-end cards already. Tracker's okay. But I feel like the Converter Beast or the Crusher are better. The Goblin's okay, too. But, I mean, Hexproof is kind of a big deal in this format, so the Crusher having Hexproof makes it better than our other top-end cards, so don't want to miss out on it. That's okay. That's okay. Weapon Rack is a way to get 1/1 counters. It's painful. It's not a good way to get 1/1 counters, but I think maybe we have to take it to make sure that we can put 1/1 counters where we want them. We don't have Merfolk, so this doesn't really work. So I think Weapon Rack, as weak of a card as it is, I mean, it's not a good card. I think it's the take. We need the 1/1 counters to synergize with our Constrictor and other counter synergies. And that's pretty good card advantage. I mean, I think if you play early game, you're looking at 2 or 3 cards that you get to basically steal from your opponent's library. But I'm worried that I don't have enough early game plays that add to the board. This doesn't exactly add to the board, it's just more card draw. We already have some card draw. I'm wondering if we'd be better off taking a creature here, even though this is a strong card. But curve-wise, maybe I just want the 3-mana 2/2 Death Touch or the 2-mana 1/1 discard. Pretty good on top end, so I feel like maybe just taking the 1/1 that discards is pretty good for us since we need more 2-drops. Close call though. I mean, that has 1/1 counter synergy. Oh, but Witch Stalker's here. Witch Stalker's probably too good to not take. 4-mana 4/4 that makes food is pretty spectacular. So let's take that instead of the 5-mana 2/2 with 1/1 counters. Heaven's good. We wouldn't be able to cast Earth. Vivisector is actually really decent in our deck. So is Siege Zombie. Maybe we take Siege Zombie. You wouldn't get Death Touch from the Scorpion, but it is more zombies, and if we do get any zombie synergies, it does add to that zombie count, which could be important. It's actually pretty good with all of the 1/1 creature tokens that we're creating. So let's do Siege Zombie. This is not a very good trick. Defense Straight is amazing. It's gonna hit a lot of targets. I think it's better than Struggle, although I would love Struggle to wheel. Let's hope Struggle wheels, and let's just take the Defense Straight for good removal. Wow, Rune of Speed is here. That's crazy. I think we could have had a Jund deck if we wanted, but it's okay that we don't. I think Dreg Recycler is a good sack outlet if we want to try and lean into sacrifice outlets for our Infiltrator. It's not bad. Plus it's 2/2 for 2. Cage Zombie is not bad, but there's a Diagraph Horde here. I think I like the Horde better. There's also Splatter Goblin. Wow. Expanded Anatomy is also okay. We don't have any Learn though, so let's take the Horde. This wield. Tracker's here and Goblin. Guess we could just take the rare if we wanted a rare draft. Or we just take the Goblin. Goblin's fine. Yeah. Big no to all of that. Almost want to take the Longboat. Don't think I would run it though. Maybe Duress. Duress could actually be okay here. I'm sure they would get a lot of hits in this format. Hoppling Zombie. Trick. Let's take the zombie. I don't think that's going to be very good for us. Let's just take the captain. We're going to have to cut a lot of this top end, but that's okay. Ooh, Vivisector came around. That's good. We have tons of 2-drops. I love it. Wolf is okay. Farmer's okay. I guess we could just take the farmer in case we want to run it. It's not exciting, though. I mean, we got there on some of the things. We're going to have to cut some of these 2-drops, though. It's actually a good thing to have too many good 2-drops. And that just goes in the sideboard. Alright, it's not the best deck I've ever seen, but this is probably going to be good for a winning average. Let's split it out, even though it kind of gets all like laggy when you do this. But I do need to see creatures to non-creature spell ratios when I'm cutting here, since this is a pretty complicated cut and build. I do think the Crusher, come on game, is going to stay, but it's 8 mana and I want to consider 8 mana spells not in the same pile as 6 mana spells. There's a big difference between 8 mana and 6 mana cost, so I think the Void Beckoner is maybe a cut. I'm not sure we need a 5/5 Death Touch. I do like the Horde quite a lot. I'm probably going to keep it. Head Cleaver is very medium. That's a very easy cut. Wow. I'm sorry it's so laggy. Yeah, our 4-drops are really good. It's fantastic. I think the Constrictor is going to do a lot of good things for our deck. It's definitely a major win con. I'm so glad it wheeled. We're still going to have to cut down our top end quite a lot. There's no way we can have that much top end and get away with it. The farmer can probably go. I need to keep the Rejuvenator as it ramps to our top end. Our top end is going to be very expensive to cast. We're going to have to run 17 lands in this deck. Mainly, I mean, 4 mana for Slimefoot activation is really important and really good too. So I don't mind drawing extra lands at the end of the game. I guess our Venomous is maybe our weakest 4-drop. Actually not sure what I want to cut here. Just trying to look for the best synergies possible. Sprite's very good in our deck. Goblin's not as good in our deck. Siege Zombie is fantastic in our deck. Vivisector is fantastic in our deck. The Infiltrator is a little weak, but there is the potential to get a 1/1 counter on it. Disciple's a little weak. Our Operative is maybe our weakest 2-drop, which is surprising. I mean, it's a pretty good card, but I think it has the least amount of synergy in our deck. The Goblin also has the least amount of synergy, so it can go, even though it's a good card. Vicious Rumors can go. It's very medium. Emergency Weld's not that great in our deck, but still good. Regrowth is probably better. because it can return any card from my grave, whereas Weld can do just creatures, basically. So Regrowth, we could like re-grab Defense Trade or Casualties of War and hit 2 targets, or Cruelty. So Oaken Form's a bit medium. Can kind of probably cut that. Interventions, very medium. Tricks are good in this format, though. Like, I do want to say that tricks get people better in this format because people can't play around them the way they can in a limited format. Like, a limited format only has so many tricks, whereas here there's just endless possibilities. So tricks do get people a little bit better in Chaos Draft than they normally would. Even so, though, it's just not that good of a trick. Close your eyes as I cut this Dark Bargain, and just pretend I didn't. Let's cut the Void Beckoner. We're very close. I like the Crusher more than the Beckoner for a win con. We don't need 2 Colossus. We don't need Feral either. Abomination is just... I mean, we have other Death Touchers. We don't need to spend 6 mana for a Death Toucher. All of our 3-drops are too good. I think maybe Venomous is the weakest card left, even though it has Death Touch. And I also think Foragers, I don't know if we need the life gain. And 5 mana for a 4/4 is not nearly as good as some of the other cards we have. So, as good as that is, I don't think we need it. There is some temptation to cut the Horde as well, since we have other good top-end cards. But it's just really good with some of our other synergies. Maybe the Disciple is the cut. It's really good because it's a 2-for-1, but it has no synergies. Like, every other card we're running that's a creature either makes a 1/1 counter or can make a creature or multiple creatures for Siege Zombie or for the Visor. There's just other synergies with token creation or 1/1 counter creation, so it hurts to cut that card, but I just don't think it's quite good enough. Few more cuts needed. I can't cut any of those 4-drops. Maybe Emergency Weld. And we just run the Regrowth. Right? I'm just not sure I want to cut any of these creatures. Maybe the Horde and the Emergency Weld are the only 2 creatures I'd be willing to part with. So Horde and then Emergency Weld, and then we can run 17 lands. The Twisted Embrace is too good. All our removal is too good. Yeah, the Emergency Weld is definitely just the weakest card here. I like Duress in this format because they could have a Planeswalker. Removal spells are really common. So Duress definitely gets the job done in helping me get information from their hand and taking a card. So I think we don't need double Graveyard Recursion. Just doing a final check here to make sure where I'm at. It's a good deck. That curve looks great. 16 creatures. 3.3 average is not bad. Really nice top win con conditions. Nice curve out. So I'm good with this. I think, you know, it'll do fine. This is the first time I've played this format this year, but I played it last year once or twice. But every time I play this format, I always feel like every deck and every game is just okay. Nothing amazing, just okay. So, if you're feeling like your deck's okay, it's probably going to do just fine. Hand's good. We have the Constrictor into the Hulk. Siege Zombie is also just a really good card to have in your start hand. The Crusher's a little awkward in your start hand because you're not going to really cast it anytime soon. It's basically like starting with a mulligan hand. Okay, land is good, so we can get on up to that Crusher. Okay, they're on red-black. Sacrifice, it looks like. Ooh, Weapon Rack was good. Good draw. Slaughter Priest. What does this do? Just hard to block. Okay. I think our plan does not change. Weapon Rack. And then everything will have Menace. If they want to trade, they can. They did not. Looks like it's a race. I think we're favored in a race here. Okay. What does this do? Okay. It's not a big deal. Let's go ahead and Bloom Hulk. Yeah, I want an extra counter on all of those. Thank you. And I'm gonna put the 1/1 counter on Bloom Hulk anyway, so it doesn't really make sense to do it pre-combat. So let's just attack in and then do Bloom Hulk after. And this is lethal, is it not? This is lethal. If I put a 1/1 counter on the Constrictor, they can't block enough. Or am I crazy? They don't have a way to gain life, do they? Let's just go for it. Like I said, we're favored in a race. Do we have it? Good game. Yep. Okay, they kind of got stuck on 3 lands, but I mean, our weapon rack was just really strong. So, good game. And it looks like our 1/1 counter synergy is capable of winning. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's not the best start hand. This visor is going to have to do overtime with the weapon rack. But having cruelty in my hand is very nice. Red-black spells. I guess we'll see how filler the Chanter is. I'm actually not too worried about it. I'm more worried about the Unstoppable Ogre, although our 2/1/1s against the Unstoppable Ogre pretty much stop that Ogre. So I like running out our creatures. We'll make trades here. I'll Death Touch the Chanter, I'll trade my 1/1 Scorpion for the Unstoppable Ogre. Looks like they are on spells. I mean, they have a Hound. Let's Duress first and see what's in their hand, and then we can Cruelty if we need to based on what we see in their hand. But right now our 2/1/1s kind of stop 2 creatures of our choice, so let's see what they got going on if they're a spells deck. Okay, they're a spells sacrifice deck. I don't see any sack outlets on the board, correct? Yeah, they don't have any ways to sacrifice, so Awaken the Sleeper is not very good if they can't sacrifice a creature they steal. I think the Awakening's just the better card. And because they have no creatures in their grave, and, you know, it doesn't matter that they're discarding it, they won't get any value off of it. And I feel completely comfortable now just getting rid of their Pyre Hound. There's no reason for us to take 2 trample damage every turn, when we can just basically clog up the board with what we have and just wait to draw more action. Feeling very good about our position. Would like to draw one of our win cons. We have plenty of them in our deck. Can't believe we're playing against red-black and they didn't do more than 1 damage to us in the first 5 turns. It's like unheard of. Ah, there's a win con. Well, we're still pretty far away from it, but when it does hit, it's going to be good. There's no reason not to weapon rack at this point. Let's just put it on our Scorpion here. I mean, I don't think there's a reason I should attack. So 1 more land and we can play Crusher in 3 turns. So that'll be good, but I hope we draw like 1 more action spell until then. Yeah, okay. Zada. Okay. That was a very good draw for us. Another Death Toucher. Guess I'll weapon rack again. And I'll attack in. If they want to trade for Zada, I'm more than happy about it. Okay. Well, 1 more land and we have the Crusher, but if we don't draw 1 more land, hopefully we're drawing action. We don't have anything else in our deck that we wouldn't be able to cast, so. Okay, Crusher it is. Kind of feel like I should just attack with both. Let's just attack with the Death Toucher. We don't need to get too aggressive here. Yeah, let's make it a 4/4. If they have a kill spell, this really stinks, but without Constrictor in hand, there's no reason to spread out my 1/1 counters. Yep. Okay, my guess is they have a land and nothing else, so let's just take out Crusher. The good thing is they can't even steal the Crusher because it has a hexproof, but let's not give that information first. Let's go ahead and attack with all. Just want to clear out the board for better trample damage attacks. We should win in like 2 turns from now. Let's get rid of Zada. Yep. Good trade. Let's put out Crusher. It's going to be really hard for them to deal with Crusher with hexproof. and trample. They have to have like a death touch creature that they lay down or something crazy. Otherwise, they just lose in 2 turns pretty much. We could even sack our weapon rack to our drag recycler if we want to ping them for 1. Wake to slaughter. Okay. It's a pretty weak wake to slaughter. What do I need to choose here? Okay, 1 goes to hand, and then the other one goes to board, but then dies at the end of the turn. I guess I want Zada to die and not linger around because 1 toughness is easier to trample through. So let's do it like that. That's fine. They're going to hit me for 5 here. It's a little unfortunate. Whoa! They chose wrong. Okay, well, they could have hit me for 3 here if they just chose my Crusher. Man. If only we still had our 1/1 counters. It's okay, though. Let's just swing with all of it. We'll just play out both creatures, I think. Oh, wait. No, I can't do that. Our drag recycler gives them the sack outlet that they need for their awakened sleeper, so we can't give them the sack outlet. Never mind. Just the 1. I don't think there's a way they can steal and then do too much damage to us. Okay, we win. They can't block enough trample damage. Cool. 2-0. Not bad. It's a good hand. Blue-red draw spells, it looks like. Could be a tough game. Let's go ahead and get our ramp in. They counter it. Oh well. Good. There's... those are actually all cards we wanted with our Constrictor. It's painful that we're losing out on our weapon rack. But no attacks. I don't think I have a way to shuffle my deck. No, I don't. So they're gone forever. Pass. Well, we could run out our Thallid into the counter. I'm sure they have. Not the counter spell I was expecting, but a very good one. That was nice. Very expensive one, but very good. Rune of Speed. Maybe they were in our draft. It's a good card. That's actually pretty good with our Constrictor. Let's go ahead and kill the Captive Weird before they get the value off of it, or at least try to. If they have a bounce here, kind of stinks, but I feel like we should go for it here. Cool. Cool, cool. And then just playing counter magic. Nothing you can do about that. It's still cruelty, but unfortunately they will get the value and get to flip it. It's a decent one drop for their deck. Okay, yeah, we're taking 4. Land was good for us. We can now double cast. Let's do our Constrictor since it's more important and they don't have enough mana to counter it, hopefully. Although, Lurcher is more mana efficient. Maybe we should just do that. Be more mana efficient this turn. I'm going to go ahead and play this while their mana is tapped. I don't want it to get countered. I can't afford for it to get countered. And now we can start paying them for one with our Siege Zombie. But we'll do that at the end of our turn. I wouldn't say we're in a good spot. If they have a way to draw more cards or do anything like bounce, we're in real trouble. Or if they have a really big top-end card. I don't feel like we're winning this game at the moment. Okay, I like seeing that. It's very vanilla. I'm going to tap, and you know, if they have something that deals with tap creatures, well, that's unfortunate, but that's what we're going to do. Slimefoot is great. I mean, really great. Let's play out Constrictor, and if they counter it, then we'll have Slimefoot as the follow-up. Yep. It hurts to miss out on the Constrictor, but Slimefoot's just such a better card. Glad that they took the bait. And now we can just create a bunch of 1/1s and ping them with the Siege Zombie. I mean, that's just basically what we're going to do, is we now have a mana sink on the board. Mana sinks on the board are absolutely horrible for spell control decks because they can't counter, you know, or there's very few ways to counter an ability. So those counter magic spells in their hand are just going to rot there. If they have a way to draw cards, now would be the time they would do it. Yes. Yeah. So it's now that they've realized that, like, their counter magic isn't going to do too much, so they need to find other ways to win at this point. They have a good deck, though. Make no mistake. Very good spells deck. Dorat is very, very good in their deck. That's actually a super good win con for them. Well, that puts a clock on us. That's for sure. I am concerned with Dorat. I feel like they could win with Dorat before we can beat them, especially with our little pings. Blooming Hulk is not very good at the moment, but I guess it's worth doing, because now we can swing in with a 4/4 if we want. There's no way they have a 1-mana counter for it. So now I am going to swing in for 4. And actually for 1. Offer some trades here. I think Dorat really puts the pressure on. Good. They're taking 5. We needed to get that damage in. Dorat is the perfect pet. What a good name. Man, imagine if they got like Dorat out on turn in this game and then they just got so much bigger with all their counter magic spells. That would have been insane. They fight. So they'll only hit us for 3. We hit them for 1. I think that's worth. This is kind of a 1-for-1 damage with the combat courier. Because we can't block the 2 anyway with the Dorat. So if it's a race, you know, it makes the most sense to do that. No. No, no, no. Elementalist is very bad. Suppose they'll probably get the card draw. They did. Oh, that's very good for us. We could get anything. We could actually kill their Dorat if we wanted. I feel like Slimefoot, though, is the safest to get. Now, they could have a counter spell here, and that would be unfortunate. Good. Okay. I think we attack with both our 4/4s. I don't think we can afford to sit back here. I still think they have a lot of pressure on us and we need to keep our pressure up. I'm fine with this. They do get to draw a card, but we are getting 4 damage in. And if this is going to be a, you know, inches race, we need to make sure we're hitting in when we can. So they'll be down to 5. They're getting to the point where they won't be able to attack very well. It will not be safe for them to attack. So I think we're in a very good spot. We've definitely turned the corner in this game. Now they could still have like an uber bounce or something crazy. That would be bad for us. But right now we're doing pretty well. What is this? It's good, isn't it? Yes, it is good. Okay. Well, let's finish this game before they get all that value. They're going to have a 4/4 flyer. Minimum. Yeah. Although, are they dead on board now? Yeah. I mean, if they don't drop another creature, they're dead on board here. I don't know if they realize that. Well, let's just go for it. I don't think there's any harm in going for the win here. They might have not done their math right here. Land's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and make the sapling before I attack. Might as well just make both. I think Slimefoot is going to get blocked and killed. Although, no, they have to block. I mean, they're dead on board. They're dead on board. Like, they have to block the 2 4/4s, but they're dead on board either way. Not sure how Scry helps them here. Nice. All right. Got through that game. They had a pretty great spells deck, if you ask me. But we went too wide and we applied too much pressure for them to be able to control us outright. If you told me after we drafted this deck we'd be 3-0, I wouldn't have believed you. I don't think this is a 3-0 deck, but we are winning, so let's keep the luck up. It's an awkward hand with triple green and no forests. But Drag Recycler into Constrictor is not bad. I don't think you turn it in. We do have a turn 2 and 3 play on curve. So I'm going to keep it, but I don't know if the Colossus is ever going to be castable. In fact, we might cast the Crusher before we ever cast the Colossus. We're just going to make do with whatever we draw into. Just a little awkward. Alright. This is a pretty good curve. Despite not having any forests. Okay, 2-1. 2-1 Menace for 2 is actually a very good card in this format, so I'm sure the Whelp will outperform. Ooh. They're running out the Merchant. Okay. Well, in that case, let's just put the Thallid out and trade with it if they're willing to. Mono red? They must think we're mono black too. Maybe we're just both getting color screwed. Yeah, I'll trade. Oh, Riot. Got it. Menace. More Menace. They are on the Menace plan. We are going to go ahead and Twisted Embrace the 3/3 Menace. I think. Might as well make this out of range of the Whelp, right? And we can attack him for 4 and only take 2 on the back crack. I think that's reasonable. Start this race. Constrictor into Hulk could be okay. That's unfortunate. What is this? Puts a Menace counter. That creature already had Menace. Okay, so it starts to put 1/1 counters on things with Menace. That's a problem. So let's go ahead and kill that because everything they've dropped except for that has Menace in their deck. Oh, I guess I should have attacked there. Whoops. Wow. Okay. A forest would be great. Just one forest would be fine, please. Deck. There we go. I don't think I offer the trade here. We have too good of a situation at the moment to offer that trade. Come on. Serious? At least it can only kill our 1/1. Regrowth is great. I almost kind of want to grab removal. And then we can get out of range with the Twisted Embrace. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to make our Constrictor into a 4/4. And we're going to kill their 4/2. And then, even if they double block, they cannot kill our creatures. So now we just swing in for 8. This is so much pressure. And it's so bad for them. Like, they can't chump that, yeah. 3 to 8 damage is not something you can maintain. Okay. I mean, again, they're going to have to chump now with their weird. Unbelievable. Our mana. I mean, I think we attack. There's There's really no way they can kill us with 3 damage here. They'd have to do 6 more damage out of nowhere. It's possible, I suppose, but it's really rare. There's their blue source. Looks like they were having similar issues to what we were having, but they were making do as well. Okay, that's 3 damage haste. Still not enough. And we win. Fantastic. Oof. Okay, well, I mean, we're 4-0 with this deck. Again, like I said, if you told me this deck would be running the table, I mean, it's okay, but it's not a trophy draft, in my opinion. So if we trophy, I think that would be lucky. These games have been good, though, and good matchups for us, so. That last hand was just a little bit awkward, not drawing into forests. There are very low odds for us not to get 2 forests there by that point in the game. Didn't matter, though. It's an okay hand. We gotta draw into a forest. I don't think I'm mulliganing it. Got some of our best cards in it. That's a pretty good card. I'll trade my recycler for it, though. We do need to hit our lands. Off the top would be great. Well, if you're not gonna hit your land, duress is about as good as it gets. Okay. I see. Okay, that's pretty good. That's really good. That's decent as well. Okay, I mean, they have a good curve out. A 3 and 4 drop they're gonna be able to land. So unless we start hitting our lands, I don't think we can win this. It's a pretty good hand. Yep. Not like this. Please trade. Oh boy. Ugh, are you kidding me? What a top deck. Facebreaker is so good. We have to block here. Facebreaker is about as bomby as it gets. And it's really bad because that treasure token gives them sack outlets. We need land. Sorry, siege zombie. The treasure tokens will be sack outlets for their 4 mana drop that they're going to land, and we did not get another land. Well, there's not much you can do. Sometimes this just happens. Sometimes you do not draw into your land, and that's okay. But the Facebreaker is going to win. Yeah. This Headhunter can now just sack the treasures and deal 2 damage to any creature. And yeah, without land, all of our creatures are going to be able to get pinged off by that. It's almost feel like we have to kill it, right? If we drop any of our other creatures, it's just going to kill the creature we drop, so that hurts. They can get it back with Kami as well. They're just going to sack it with the Harpy. That's fine. More value for them. Guess we'll hit them for 2. I don't think we're gonna win this game. The Facebreaker can just get too much value. If I was them, I would just Facebreaker, draw cards, and try and play them. I'm very shocked they didn't do that. We're back in a situation that they can play that card out and then immediately sack to kill whatever we put out. I don't know, I guess the Thallid is fine. Yep. It's a good deck. It's a very good deck. I mean, I'm not blocking anyway. We're dead, so. What can you do? I mean, none of this helps. Right? Guess technically if we do this, we're not dead. Because then we can block next turn. Now we're dead. Oh, jeez. Come on. Super dead. Well, that was fun. I think if we didn't get Mana Screw, we would have maybe had a bit more of a chance, but their deck was just very good. Regardless of what was going on our side of the board. Alright, our first loss to a very good sacrifice deck. Facebreaker. What I wouldn't have given to open a Facebreaker. That's a pretty good card. Yeah, it's okay. A little slow, but it's fine. If Slimefoot gets killed, we're in trouble. Because we do not have another creature to put out. Okay, they're on the lifelink plan. Clearly. Let's go ahead and run out Slimefoot. If they have like an ossification or something, you know, we can't play Twisted Embrace, and that's kind of a problem, but I think it's a risk we gotta take here. Oh, good. Ooh, and they missed land drop. Okay. Well, in that case, I think we duress. see what's going on here. Hellish Norn. Take vengeance or judgment. I guess tapped creature is more relevant. Looks like they're going to be putting a lot of 1/1 counters on things. So let's take the one that kills the tapped creature. And I guess we'll just hold open defense rate for when they try and put a 1/1 counter somewhere. I mean, they're kind of mana screwed. But Hellish Norn eventually is kind of a big problem. We might need to save removal for Hellish Norn. Tricky. At least they can't hit our Crusher with that. We don't have a lot of creatures that are more than 4 power, which makes the Direwolf kind of a problem that it can attack in for 4. Yeah, getting rid of a 3/3 lifelinker is good enough. I don't think Twisted Embrace is right here. And in fact, just making a sapling is probably the best thing we can do. Yep. It's fine. Well, I mean, land draws aren't bad. As soon as we get to our Crusher, the better. I'm wondering if maybe we do go a bit more aggressive, though. I think we're okay if we just chill, though. It's fine. I think this is an easy block. Pings them for 1, we gain 1. It's not bad. Plus, all of our things are going to die as soon as Hellish Norn hits the board anyway, so it's not like I want to save it for that situation. Sprite's a decent draw. It's a little awkward, because if we ever activate Sprite, they can just kill it with their kill spell. Guess it's best to make another chump blocker here. Our Crusher next turn's not terrible. I'll chump. I guess I'll chump both. Okay. Colossus is great as well. Just mainly because they can kind of survive an Hellish Norn issue. This is just awkward. Can't really attack. I mean, I guess they're just gonna bounce it, right? They might not block. Okay. Okay, they're gonna draw a card. No. They're gonna play out Jinbro. That's fine. Ooh, regrowth gives us a lot of options. Okay. So, if we Twisted Embrace, we can pretty much attack in. And this puts them on quite the clock. Okay. I mean, they still have to block and lose almost all their creatures. I think it's still worth it. Because if they get Elish Norn on the battlefield, right? It's like game over. But we have regrowth. We can always get our Crusher back. We have the Colossus coming up next. We can pump our Sprite. We have a lot of options of how we want to do this. I think I'm willing to trade our Crusher for 3 of their creatures except for the Priest. I think that's okay. That's right. Doing 9 damage, yes? Yes. Okay. We'll just Slimefoot instead of regrowth this turn. There's no reason to go for the regrowth. Well, they're 1 turn away from Elish Norn. So they can kill anything with power 4 or greater. Wonder if we should just pump up the Sprite. Or play out the Colossus to run into the spell. Suppose I'd rather keep my Colossus and then kill the Sprite. I mean, the Sprite can put 4 damage pressure here. Right? Okay. It's an expensive thing to do, but we can regrowth as well. And I think we need to get Twisted Embrace for the Elish Norn. But let's see if they draw their land here. Okay. So, our creatures are now totally nerfed. They hit us for a bajillion. This is acceptable. But we're going to be able to hit them back pretty well here with our regrowth. So we're going to regrowth. Actually, do we want Defense Straight instead? How much mana do we have to work with this turn? 9. So if we defense straight, we can also play out our Witch Stalker. I like that. Big swing for us. Can I attack with all or not? Just the 4/4. Let's play out the Witch Stalker. Now, they can kill either the Sprite or Witch Stalker. I think they should kill the Sprite, but Witch Stalker is a good target as well for them. Then we have the Colossus to follow up. Yeah. Okay. We're winning this race. Barely. Good, they drew land. They are going to get to draw a card here, but we're not in a bad position by any means. It's not a great draw for us, so I think we need to crack the food to gain the life, so we can play out our Colossus and crack the food. Okay. Alright. That's good. It's not so good for us. Okay. Alright. Ooh. That's a good draw. Can we win? If we make our saplings, they gain 1, ping them for 1, they're down to 4. They have to force block. Yeah. I think we do it. That's crazy. Ugh. If only that wasn't exile, we could kill our own sapling here and kill them. Brutal. I mean, we're not... My guess is they're only going to attack in the air here. To not get pinged for 1. Exactly, that's what we were counting on. Perfect. We should have it now. Hopefully. Good. Okay. That was nuts. What a nuts game. Most of the time these games are pretty lackluster, but that game was actually quite good. Playing through an Elish Norn was unbelievable. I can't believe they opened an Elish Norn. Luckiest people on the planet. It's okay. It's me. Okay, that can get first strike. Okay. Oh. Slimefoot was a good draw. Let's go ahead and run that out. No blocks. It's a little annoying. 3/3, or do I want to make a 1/1? We could weapon rack. Get that online. Let's get the weapon rack online. Could take a pretty big hit here, but I feel like this provides us a slightly better blocker. Wings is pretty good. That hurts. Okay. That's pretty good. So... can only do 1. Could just play out a creature. Take another hit. I guess I don't want to take 4 again next turn. It's a pretty weak target. Oops, yeah. I'm sure you're gonna drop something really good next. Green. Huh. Okay. It's pretty big. Just one more mana would have been great. It's awkward. Jeez. Why didn't they crew their charger? I'm a little confused. That's okay draw for us. At least now we can kind of double spell here. Let's protect our siege zombie from another shock or 2 mana damage spell. We really can't attack in. That's fine. It's pretty good. Unfortunately, it can't hit their vehicle. I'll chump. Oof. Man. That's game right there, probably. They can still crew. It's a problem. Yeah, they can give it flying. Dead in 2 turns. They didn't give it flying. I mean, we're dead anyway, you cut it. game. Good beats. When they attacked on the ground, I had no doubt in my mind that they had a trick. So if I double blocked, I would have just lost both my creatures. Felt like I had to take the 7 there, but maybe I should have tried for the double block. Called their bluff. Either way, 2 losses, 5 wins. 5 wins is still just really great. Try and go for the trophy, but like I said before, like, our deck has nothing amazing. It's just okay curve out with a few synergies, so I wasn't expecting this deck to trophy, but it's still pretty good. It's gotten this far, hasn't it? It's an okay hand. Needs a black source. The arena shuffler is broken. Okay. Cool. It's the first time we've seen the casualties of war in our hand, actually, which is funny. It's a good card. Guess we're not in a position to attack. For some reason, our 2-colored deck can't seem to draw a swamp because of arena. And we're gonna not draw a swamp for another turn because they did a really great bounce spell. Yeah, pretty sure we're gonna lose this game. No swamp, no GG. They're playing a good tempo deck, yeah. Great. Fantastic tempo deck. Not just good, fantastic tempo deck. And we're just donezo. Yep. That's still not a swamp. Well, Arena said no more wins for you. But their deck is very good. Very, very good. Yeah. 5/6 flyer. Jeez. There's the swamp, but it's obviously too late. Yep. I guess we'll just regrowth. Is that the right move? Probably not. If I could go get a swamp from my graveyard, I would. I don't think this is going to help us, though. Not nearly enough. I'm just dead. I'm done here. I'm not even going to block. I'm done. Yep. Okay. Good deck. That is Magic 30 Chaos Draft. It's not my favorite format, but the deck we did play with was pretty good here. It did okay. A few win cons in the top end. Some nice 1/1 counter synergies. It was fine. Let's see what packs they give us. Okay. I mean, those are okay packs. You can see how little I play on Arena because all these are going to say new card. Yeah. Animal Sanctuary is very good. I like that card a lot. I only recently started playing Arena, so I never really played Arena for these sets, so they're all pretty much new cards unless I randomly got one. Volcanic Salvo is also quite good. I like that card. Let's see what we get from Theros. Field of Ruins, decent. This is okay. And from the Throne. Dwarven Mine. And that is a card. I do like that land quite a lot. Innkeeper is good as well. So, that was fun. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time.